Okay, back with part 2. I had to stop the video because the postman was knocking on the door. So sorry about that. So anyway, we've just covered the Enfield haunting in 1977. Blah, blah. Again, just some more newspaper cuttings, what I've printed off. And then this is the nun. If anyone's watched the films, they will know who she is. And then we have like a technical suspect folder. And again, I've just got like things of the haunted house and reports of things like that. And then just like an image which I didn't use, which is obviously the image that I've shown you from that book that I had, maybe the Fallen Angels of Satan, because the digital kit that I used, what I got this off, is about the devil and stuff like that, which we'll move on to soon. And then I made this last night. I enjoyed making this. I've put a W there for the Warrens, and then we've got an image of a spooky shadow. Excuse me. And then this just opens up, and you can journal on there. You can put a picture, and then this flips up, if you can see that. And again, you can journal because I put some white gesso on, so you can, you know, write on there. And then obviously I've added these, so you can write on that as well, or of course add pictures. I've used some like vintage newspaper rippings that I've had in my stash of junk. Again, you could add pictures or write, and then you turn the page, and again you've got more journaling space and things like that. And then at the back you have this little journaling spot there. Well, there we go. And then we've got a key and a cross. And then this is the real Annabelle doll, and if you can see in the image, this is actually in the Warrens house, and she's in a glass case. And if anyone wants to hear about the Annabelle doll, which of course is a true story, the Warrens investigation wasn't a place but more of a thing, which was the Raggedy Ann doll. It was purchased in an antique store, given to the buyer's daughter. The nursing student and roommate quickly began to notice occurrences happening with the doll, such as moving positions or rooms. The doll was moving in different positions, or was found in different rooms in the apartment. It escalated to notes of on paper and blood on the doll's dress, and at one point violence. The doll took aim for the roommate's fiance. He woke up. Diva! He woke up in bed, and the doll had crawled up his body and strangled him. Also, he was walking into the dark room where the doll was, and he was attacked. On flipping the light on, his stomach was covered in blood, and the doll was on the floor. It freaked the roommates out so much, they called in a medium, and the medium believed the doll was possessed by a 7-year-old deceased little girl called Annabelle Higgins. And that freaked me out a bit, because I have a daughter who's called Annabelle, and my maiden name before I got married was Higgins. And my daughter is one of my youngest daughters, and she is, I know you can't swear on here, but she is really naughty, and yeah. So yeah, anyway, the Warren family got involved, and determined that a demonic presence was in fact behind the doll. They blessed the residents before taking the doll, and Annabelle has that been in a permanent fixture in the Warrens Connecticut Occult Museum, which is obviously locked in a cabinet. And this is the real life Annabelle doll, not like the one in the film. And then we've got a real image of Ed and Lorraine. I do apologise for screaming at my dog. And then this is just an envelope, and it's empty. And then we just got another freaky doll. Oh, it's stuck. No, it's not. It is. And then we just got some freaky images, which again is off Pinterest. And then this vellum skull thing is a Tim Holtz, what I've got. And then this is the Annabelle doll, but what the film, what is in the actual film. So obviously, as you know, it's not the real Annabelle doll. And then I really like this image. It's quite freaky, but it just reminded me of, like, obviously when people are possessed by the devil. It just reminds me of like a devil possessing a woman. And then I've just used some scraps of cut off papers that I've had while I was doing this journal, and just added it as like a bit of a note thing, and then just done some printing on some fabric. And then these are the real images of the Annabelle doll. That's Lorraine there carrying the Annabelle doll out, and the Annabelle doll in the Warrens' home in the Occult Museum. And apparently Lorraine said that it's one of the most well, she said it was one of the most evil things in the actual room, but there was a few more things what I looked into and watched videos of, which were probably worse than the Annabelle doll. And then behind it we've got demonical possession or something. It's just about demons. And again, this is out of one of the demon books, the spirit evil book things. And then as well as that, I thought this was like a good picture to add into the journal, because the Warrens actually had a piano like that in the actual occult museum. It was haunted and it used to play on its own. And then I found this in the like in the New York Times, and this is about a haunted piano, and it plays music on its own. So I was like, I wonder if that has anything to do with Ed and Lorraine. So that's added into that. Then we're on the third signature, and now we are on to the Amityville case, which was the Lutz family. And this was the most famous investigation of Ed and Lorraine's paranormal investigations. The Lutz, I hope I'm saying that right, moved into Amityville, Long Island in 1975. But a year before they moved into the residence, there was a deadly mass murder. Ronald Defo Jr. brutally killed 6 members of his family. And this is a real article from what had happened. So anyway, the Lutz family, they had lived there for 28 days, and the family had reported that they could hear noises, voices, they saw swarms of flies, and then family members levitating and banging noises in the house. Ed and Lorraine was called out to bless the house. There was photos taken, and some people who followed this case, there was a picture of a boy taken, and his eyes were glowing red in the picture. The Warrens were determined that the land had a curse on it. Lorraine said in an interview that it was the worst case that haunts her still, and she'll never go back to the house. So yeah, that's a bit of info on that. As you can see, just some more bits and pieces. Ever put anything in there? No. There's a large pocket up there. And then just another freaky image. And then this is Ed and Lorraine. And I don't know who these are. I was wondering if it was like one of the investigations that they had. And then just some images, and I used some heavy modelling paste and painted all the page black, and then gone over it and did some inking and stuff. And you've got this like little girl, and then this flips up. Let's put the journal down so you can see. I've got a real picture again of Ed and Lorraine, and then we've got like a bit of journaling space there, and then you pull this down, and then we have some more journaling space there. I think there's two large pockets, and just got some more freaky images and another print off of one of those books, Demons, What Are They? And it just goes on about what are demons. We've got some vintage fur tickets. And then just these. So they all just tuck into there. And then it closes up like so. And then on the back, there's a little tiny pocket here. And then inside, I've made like a little booklet with some tea dyed paper. Some vintage ledger. Again, another tag. And then this is again out of the books what I've been using, and it's The Devil is Dead, and it's like a poem of some sort. And then we've got a real life picture of the Annabelle doll and just a spooky house. Then another envelope, and then again I just put some 1930 ledger paper in there to journal on, and then just some wax sealant there on this piece of paper. I've got a belly band pocket, and then something, this kind of freaked me out a little bit because these were printed out of a book off the CD thing what I was telling you about. Excuse me. And I just quickly read this, and I was just like, oh my god, obey this warning about on the Book of Death, the Hindu spiritual, I can't pronounce it, sorry. And I was just like shocked at if this book has been taken, an evil spirit and the powerful influences which will most surely do you infuriate and cause you to regret your damnable actions to the day of your death. And I was just like, oh my god, like you just wouldn't think that that would actually be published as a book. So I was like, yeah, I'll print that off. That's pretty cool and interesting. So yeah, this is out of this is out of a real book, and this is out of the same book as well. So yeah, pretty interesting but quite freaky as well. And then I just added this, if you know the person who receives this wants to do something with it. Goes in there. And then we've got another collage and got a little dangle. And then a pocket again. And again, this was one of the first pages of a book, an essay on evil spirits and reasons to prove their existence. Excuse me. And it was published in 1825. So I just printed that as, I just thought it was quite interesting to add to the journal. And then I printed some like spooky images off of Pinterest, which like, you know, look like eerie spooky houses. And this is another one of those pockets I was talking about. Another journaling card, and then this is an envelope. Oh, missed a page. And again, this is the back side of the other piece of paper. I use like black acrylic paint and then stenciled with some heavy modelling paste, and then just thinking it all up. And we've got a little pocket here, and we have Ed and Lorraine with their daughter Judy, and then just this like weird image, and then just a thing about poltergeist. There's two types of spirits in hauntings. One is a human spirit, and then one is an inhuman spirit. And an inhuman spirit is a spirit that has never walked the earth in human form. So that's another thing what I learnt. And then again, we've just got another little file case, and again just another newspaper article. And this is another large pocket there, and that is the end of the 3 signatures. This one is a little bit different. Sorry, my nose is completely blocked. I printed off a kit, and it was all about like demons and things like that. So when I was doing this journal, I was like, you know, Ed would keep loads of newspaper articles and things like that. He obviously would have studied demons and evil spirits and things like that. So I just added this little bit in. There's no tuck pockets or anything like that, but I really liked the images and some of the Dark Lord prayer and things like that. So just trying to jump into Ed's shoes. I think Ed would be like quite interested in just some of this stuff. So I'll put a link below to this kit. There is more pages. I just printed a few bits and pieces off. Just a little extra added into the journal. And then that's the end of the end of the journal. And then at the end, I found this image on the internet, and it's a picture of Ed and Lorraine, but they've been made to look like they've faded out a bit of the picture. And I just thought that was like a nice picture to put right at the end of the journal, because both of them have passed and stuff. And I was supposed to put something here in remembrance of Ed and Lorraine, so I will do that. So that is the end of this journal. And I don't know if I said that the reason why I put this key on the journal was because Ed and Lorraine kept the room locked, because nobody was supposed to go in this room where they kept all the possessed items and things like that. So this is why this key is on there. Again, I've not decided on what I'm using to close the journal yet. The journal will be up for sale on my Etsy shop, and I will post it on my Facebook page, which will be in the description box below. And I'm sorry if I've waffled on, and I'm sorry if some people think that this video was far too long for this journal, but I've done a lot of research and I really enjoyed doing this journal, and I wanted some people probably to get a bit of, I don't know, just something out of the journal, because there is a lot of stories behind the different images, and they're all real life, they're all based on real life. So yeah, so if you've enjoyed the video, then I'm glad, and I hope you've picked up something new. So thank you for watching, and I'm sorry that my dog were barking and I lost my rag. She does do me head in, and she does bark quite a lot. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.